What is going on, guys and girls? Level Up here at OnPointTactical. Today is episode 2 of Brain Gaming, and we're going to be talking about my mentality behind the main battle tanks. Now, I haven't really talked a whole lot about any armored vehicles or vehicles at all on the channel because I'm waiting for DICE to start nerfing things, and that should come soon, but I thought, what the heck, I'll go ahead and do a main battle tank video and talk about what I think needs to be assessed before you can make a safe engagement. Now, first of all, I think that you need to assess your immediate surroundings. This is going to mean players that are trying to put C4 on you or M15 AT mines on the ground. Second, you need to worry about your medium engagement distance. What would be considered an average engagement distance between you and a main battle tank? Now, you can worry about a fourth zone, but we're going to go ahead and give you all 4. I was going to give you 3, but this is just an off the top of my head video, so it's not scripted. 3. Worry about your long-range targets, your recon players using a PLD to laze your position for javelins or SRAs. And you need to be aware of people sitting off on the side of the map with RPGs or other players looking to take you out at a distance with main battle tanks. 4. Be aware of whether or not this is going to prevent anything from happening that you don't want to happen, or if this is going to actually assist your team for you to not have the tank for the remainder of the time that you are engaging this armored target. If you are engaging an armored target, you have to weigh out the odds that you may not win that firefight, and you may actually lose a very important asset that could be used for something else, particularly with the mobile AA gun. They can actually do serious damage to main battle tanks right now, and it's not always worth it to drive off onto the side of the map and mess with them. I think that personally you should probably leave that to the engineers and probably the helicopter pilots as well that worry about the mobile AA, and you should probably worry about taking down flags and being a big force behind your attacking team. I think that then and only then can you actually make an educated and very solid decision on whether or not this is going to be a safe engagement between you and another armored target. Because as soon as you light up that 120mm cannon, everyone's going to know exactly where you're at. These things are not easy to keep off radar, and they certainly aren't easy to keep out of people's awareness. So if you are incognito, so to speak, and they aren't aware that you're right there, you probably are going to want to think through this engagement before it happens. A decent example of that happens in the next clip on this map. I decided to quit an engagement between myself and another main battle tank driver because it simply wasn't going to be as advantageous to the team as it was going to be for me to push towards another flag. The same mentality can be carried over for recon players, I think. Assess what's going on around you, what targets are trying to sneak up on you, your medium range, what players are around you with assault rifles that can take you out, and then 3, what players around you with bolt actions are going to be able to take you out. And you need to be aware of just your general area on the map and how many angles of exposure you have as well. You certainly don't want to go head first and then get stuck in between 4 rocket launchers like I do in the Siege of Shanghai clip or whenever I die. I wind up pushing too hard, and that honestly was a bad decision. I should have been a little bit more methodical about my engagement, and I actually wound up getting taken out by several rocket launchers at once. Now, as far as the different shells that I prefer to run with the main battle tank to increase my mentality requirements, is I love to run the Sabo shell, which is good versus infantry, but it also hits like a truck on other armored targets, and it doesn't have a whole lot of doesn't have a whole lot of drop over long distance like the HE shell does, which the HE shell definitely does the most damage to other armored targets, but I don't think it's quite worth it to risk that accuracy. Now, if you can't tell already, I run the staff shell along with the Sabo shell, and the staff shell, as long as you get it within their area, it will guide itself to the target. Now, it doesn't do quite as much damage as the Sabo or HE shell does, but I think it's very much worth it because you can swap back and forth between the Sabo and staff shell and shoot it's really almost overpowered. You can shoot really quickly, especially for a main battle tank. Now, this of course means that you're going to have a gunner or waste all your tank shells on Infi. Now the good thing about the staff shell is that it does replenish its ammo much quicker than the Sabo shell, so if you are running tight on ammo, I would advise using the staff shell a bit more, because it does seem to actually reload quite a bit quicker. Here's that clip where I pushed too hard without thinking about it and wound up getting engaged by, count it, 1, 2, 3 lock-ons, and that guy up there got me with the law. Now here's that clip in a minute, I'm sure you'll see it. I'm shooting across the river at another main battle tank, and he takes off to where he's no longer within my engagement zone. I honestly don't have a shot on him, and I decided to just cut and then go attack another flag because I thought it would be much more advantageous for the team. And there was another tank over there, and so it wasn't really worth me trying to backtrack and get across the river. Some cases, I think it would be worth it to go out of your way to take out other armored targets, specifically on something like Silk Road or Gulmud Railway. These maps are all about the armored targets, so if you can take down the other team's armor, you're going to put them at a huge disadvantage. But a lot of the China Rising maps, aside from Silk Road, Altai Range is kind of the same way, but not really. You can run Infi and not really worry about being overpowered. I would say, Guilin Peaks is an infantry map, there are no tanks, but I think that this one and Altai Range kind of had the same mentality where armored targets, or armored vehicles rather, are an important asset, but they're not as important as pushing for the flag rather than just wasting your time. Here it is. This tank, I shot at it first and it wound up getting blown up. Sorry. But the second one here, I only get 2 shots off on it before I have to quit the engagement, and I noticed that there is another APC over there, and I already did north of 50 damage to that tank, so I figured that he would be okay, and it wasn't worth me backtracking. It was going to be more advantageous to move on and attack other objectives. I think I made the correct decision on this one because that player did actually wind up going down, but I wound up getting stuck I got blasted by a main battle tank mine, and then had to get a rep here. But yeah, this is just sort of my mentality around main battle tank engagements. Remember, you have the 4 assessments that you need to make before you can make a very educated, safe decision. What is immediately around you? C4 players, landmines, or anyone really close with an RPG, or the slams. Second, medium distance. This is going to be your armored target to armored target engagement distance. Where are your armored targets and where are your RPGs being shot at you, or any other rocket launcher? Long range, snipers with PLDs, and long range RPGs and armored targets. Then you need to worry about the engagement and whether it is going to actually be effective for your team. I'm LevelUp here at OnPointTactical. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been episode 2 of Brain Gaming, and I hope to see you guys on the battlefield.
I got eyes on an enemy LAV. I have eyes on an enemy aircraft west of your location. Send contact to a spec upgrade.